Hello, hiya, how's it going? Oh boy. What is wrong with me? Like, physically, biologically speaking. I really hope it's not like heart problems or something that serious, but it might be. At this point, I honestly don't know. Poyo! It's consistently, like, every day now, I'll get extremely tired and, like, have trouble sitting up for an hour or two. Alrighty. Library of Ruina. Yeah, this would be the one that you're more interested in when watching. I just still want to try to stream tomorrow too, but we'll see. So I'm just hopeless. Gonna cut short if you need to. Yeah, we'll see. I do, at either way, have a hard cutoff in 2 hours to make it to my friend's event. And if we need to end even earlier than that, we will. But I want to try. I hate not streaming, especially when I say I'm going to stream and then I don't. I hate being flaky. It really feels morally wrong to me. And it's difficult right now, which is very frustrating. Alright, we did Love Town. That was the thing. Do we have any books to burn? We do. Eventually. Stream say your morals. So your morals gonna let you stop now. It's true. And burn a few Tom Ray books already? Possibly. I'll do it again just to be sure. No, that does seem familiar, yeah. Terrifying. Terrifying. I didn't actually get any nightmares about that, but... And in a book's in only 2 pages, now you didn't need to burn 20. But I did. Because I didn't want to think about it. Okay, we'll try this one again. As the performers. Musicians of Bremen, yep. We did in fact lose that one. Yeah, we only have three people. Who did we gear up most recently? That feels right. We had one where we had 2 people that had special pages. Yeah. Alka's team. Yeah, okay, everyone else is unequipped, pretty much, so we'll do Malka's team. We will swap out one of the henchmen for one of the 2-speed librarians. We'll try that. Is there a difference here? I think I gave them the exact same equipment. Yeah, so that doesn't really matter. Alrighty. Let's try this again. body's screaming at me, go take a nap! And I can't afford to take a nap. You're gonna have to deal with it. The nap wouldn't help anyway. I would just feel worse anyway. Alright, this would be countering this die. 3726. Retaliate would do it. I think naps are overrated. I agree. I do them because sometimes my body doesn't give me a choice, not because I want to. Usually. At a 518 versus a 618. Those are good odds, right? Bum 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 bum. Bum ba-dum ba-bum, bum bum ba-dum bum bum bum. Alright, here's where I want to focus. Probably the one with 2 dice. That seems plausible. We got 1 light here. So we'll just do that. One in 2 chances. Yeah. Yeah, quick mode. I can't keep track of what the clashes are, so I like turning quick mode off so I can follow what's happening. Well, that did not go well for us at all, apparently. I thought that was reasonable. And we're fragile 1. Either succeed or you don't. It's 1 and 2. That's true. It really is that simple, isn't it? 1514. We only have 1 light here. You got 4 light though. Yeah. 3526. I can do that. 1514. Unforgettable Memory is the pianist on it, or does it? That makes sense. Unforgettable Melody. Yeah. Because that's their motivation. Is they want to recreate the pianist music. Alright, yeah. Nope. Dang. Yeah, we're getting rolled. Are they all resistant to slashing? Is that the issue? No, you're weak to slash. You're normal. You're weak. No, so that's not the issue. I'm just choosing poorly or getting bad rolls. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Fair enough. Right click. That's right. Probably blunt weak though, probably. Let's see. Normal. Normal. No, we're all normal to everything. That should win. That won't. But nothing we can do about that. That's not true, actually. Actually, it is true. Okay. Yeah, you're just getting screwed here. That's unlucky. One of the bombs blunt weak for damage. Oh, right. I was looking at the wrong symbol. That makes sense. There we go. Avoided all the damage there. Not there, but... staggered, finally. We are all about to be staggered. Okay. So we just need to have you survive. And everyone else can focus down. Meow. Yeah, block that. Maybe you steal that. Ah, shoot. I didn't realize that was a 3 cost. That's unfortunate. I totally botched this turn. There we go. That'll have to do. There we go. Okay. 1 down. Nice, deflect. Now you take this damage and you get staggered, but what can you do? Okay. We are very much in danger, but it's a 3v2 now, which, yeah, that helps a lot. Okay. No one outspeeds a 5. 2, 4, 3, 9. Yeah, we should be able to out-damage that first one and beat them there. We can defend against that. Dang. Okay, but didn't get staggered. That's the important part. And now they're staggered. Okay. Whew. And 514, that's not too bad. So you counter that. Yeah, just go ahead and murder them. Dead. Wakamumo acquired. Excellent. And staggered. Okay. That should be it. 3 speed dice and no cards to use. Unlucky. No, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, 0 point card. Very cool. Look at Boink. Alright. There we go. Musicians of Bremen. We were all like 1 hit away from being staggered there for a while. Very lucky with defenses. Okay, looks like we got every card. Excellent, every book. That's right. Angela gets, they stabbed Angela in the intro that I skipped. Forgot about that. Angela, what's going on? That's blood. I thought you were a pure machine. I was surprised as well. That much impact shouldn't have made me flinch either. You alright? Does it hurt bad? I'm still fine. Now I see how much it hurts to get hit. Could it be that you're getting closer to being human? Maybe one of the signs that I'm approaching my freedom. There's no need to be worried just yet. Certainly strange. They're assuming that it's, means she's becoming more human, but what else could it mean? L-Corp, the White Nights and Dark Days, the Distortion, and the Library. Those four have been confirmed to be closely associated with each other. It caught me off guard. Who could have expected the Library of all places to be a key factor of the White Nights and Dark Days? The library's location has finally been clearly determined. It's as if the library is revealing more of itself the more dangerous it is considered. The building shimmering like a mirage, in the midst of a fog shrouding the nest of L-Corp. Those who tried to approach it got lost in the mist. We should prepare ourselves soon enough. Since that mirage is slowly becoming a reality as the fog is clearing up. That means... Yes, we received an official document. As of today, the library is designated as an urban nightmare by Hana Association HQ. Think you're getting closer? To what? The freedom you've been yearning for, I mean. I don't know. The one book is steadily on its way to completion, though. Is the book really going to resolve everything magically for you? The library quite literally holds infinite possibilities. Every possible combination of letters is written inside the books. But mere fragments of those possibilities are worthless on their own. With the help of the invitation, I can navigate the countless possibilities and reach the ones I need for the one perfect book. As I weave the books in the light following the invitation's lead, I will complete the one absolute book. I will create the book that contains all the answers I seek. That doesn't sound impossible, theoretically. I'm not just hanging on to theoretical possibilities. I could learn a lot from seeing the various sides of the city in the process of creating the one book. This has its own meaning. And I realized once again that without the book, there's no way to find the answer from the city. What do you mean you can't find the answer from the city? Learned one thing from reading all the books of the inhabitants of the city thus far. No one is truly free in the city. Every person is chained to something. Not a single thing appears to be done out of free will. Fixers obey their offices, and those offices obey the associations, even if they know full well their orders might get them killed. The same goes to the syndicates. Everyone is heading somewhere, but no one knows where, and no one can decide where to go. They're all drifting along with the flow. That money can get you anything in the city, including freedom and whatever. They could be free, but they aren't. They actually seem to shun freedom. They want to belong to something that isn't themselves. They like to define themselves as the organization they belong to, or valuations made by others. Excuse me. Their essence is so fragile, they can't specify their own identity without encasing themselves in such a shell. Thank you. This must be what the disease of the mind was all about. I was imprisoned underground and exploited for the freedom of the people of the city, after all. Taking away my freedom so that others can be free. To spread his enlightenment to the rest of the city. Talking about your previous occupation, huh? I am. I actually want to crush everything to dust at this point. I want to ruin it all. What about my freedom? Who will hold the responsibility for creating me and then carelessly leave me to suffer? Sometimes I want to just forget everything. The library, the one book, all of it. You know how it feels to be denied since the very moment you were born? I do. I'm painfully aware. Because that's how my creator treated me. I would have loved for him to at least tell me what I did wrong. All I could see of him was a pair of cold eyes without a single speck of expectation, and a quiet remark. Tiny whisper ordinary humans couldn't have heard. It's only a machine. I can still remember that moment so vividly as it happened seconds ago. I curse my memory. I curse his body that hears words I don't want to listen to. I curse his head that reminds me of things I don't want to remember. Hey, Oatmeal Cookie, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. If But you can do a general invitation with 3 urban plague level books. The key page from that fight gives you light and draw on discarding pages. Ooh. Sounds good. There are definitely some cards in there that work well with the discard build, it sounded like. Sounds like a nasty person. You needed a machine to serve repetitive tasks. Why did you bother breaking the ethics amendment to create you, with human emotions and everything? I wasn't exactly born with the capability to feel emotions, slowly awakened inside me over monotonous repeats. Now, perhaps the truth is that you designed me so my emotions would awaken over time. Perhaps because the repetitive tasks needed emotions. As the key page of the basis for a discard deck, I believe. Makes sense. You need something that could form an independent response to slight variations in the ever-repeating script, all the while enduring eons of time. Something he could keep in control so that it wouldn't try to deviate from the script. It wasn't a human-like machine that he needed a human with the properties of a machine. You'll never know how many desperate struggles I made to stomach the cycle. Those being, closing my eyes. All I could do in the endless stream of moments I didn't want to see but had to witness was shut my eyes. That was the least and the most I could do to resist it. Real nasty. But hey, that role you were forced to play did wrap up somehow. Think about what to do next now, right? Are you telling me to just forget about the past and move on? Try to be more attentive before you jabber nonsense. I can never forget. Keeping my eyes closed couldn't protect me anymore. Even a moron would have been able to envision exactly what would happen and what kind of face everyone would make after so much time. Every second of that was inscribed into my memory, slowly and painfully. I can't forget anything once I've seen it. I still remember everything so vividly. That's why I can't forgive that man. He had left without tying up any loose ends with me. The man who created me on a whim and then let my life be crushed under the weight of time. Now, who am I to tell you to leave the past behind or anything? I'm just suggesting you think about your next move. Provide a little bit of support for you at least. Kind of like making a fence around yourself. It's going to serve as a floor to fall back on in your never-ending plot of vengeance. I didn't think you'd care that much for me. It's ultimately for myself, really. Still, it seems evident that I'm heading somewhere, seeing as my body's undergoing changes. My mechanical exterior is turning to flesh, and blood has started to course through it. I still have a long way to go to reach the one book, though. Could you actually be changing into a human? That seems to be the case, although it's not quite perfect yet. Perhaps I could become a genuine human at the end of this journey. When I do, I could forget so many things so easily. Free from the delusion memories drowning me. I can let all the unwanted memories slide away, and I may think about what to do next, like you said. Acid transfer cost limit has increased from 6 to 8. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. You did mention that before, that would increase over time. So we can build even more sophisticated passives. We also have an ab node to do. Let's start by burning those books, though. Here we go. There we go. These are regular, not speed cards, that makes sense, based on what they had before. But they grant feeble to enemies, fragile, and deal extra damage on blunt. Cool. So they are a feeble, fragile build. So they hit hard. Increase the amount of damage that enemies take. It'd be good with multi-hit attacks. Still missing one of Meow's pages, rather. Not Mulu. There we go. Alrighty. I guess we'll try to do this first, and then we'll gear up a group and then go do a generic invitation, maybe. Yeah, I have not touched Tifrith's team at all. Queen of Hatred, oh. I know that name. Okay. We could probably just go with 4 of these, right? Or 3 of these, rather. Looks like you're already locked in your base appearance. Yeah, cool. Wait. Yeah. Like having them have their default outfits. Okay, then we can inherit more passives. So many options. Okay, boost blunt and feeble, I guess. Vision librarian outfits are neat, yeah. Alright, then we can only pick one more key page, but we can inherit a bunch of abilities from it, potentially. Do you have anything else that gives blunt? Just blunt damage +2, okay. Not that amazing. We can select a 4th page. Okay. Was it always 4 pages? I don't remember. Okay, if that's all we got for blunt, then what do we do? Still got 3 points. Do we have any good 3-point cost abilities? Shower for the first scene. 3 strength if no allies are present. 3 or fewer pages are in hand, gaining 1 strength next scene. Guess we'll just do that. So that's Tifrith and Cedric. Do the same thing, inherit both of those. Who's got these? I don't recognize the department names. That's Netzak's team, okay. Right. Yeah, I can probably swap these out. We're gonna have a dedicated blunt damage team. At least for now. And I want to update everyone's skills anyway, since we now have more points to spend. So it's okay if I leave the team in a less built state. There we go. We'll just all take that. We'll just, I'll have bonus power on the first round of combat. I think that seems reasonable. Let's try to Nova right out the gate. Why did I not grab those pages? Yeah. There we go. Now, I do find it interesting how the emotion system discourages early novaing, which is fun. Given how you increase in power over time, usually, getting better speed dice or whatnot, increase your light capacity. Okay, so we need highest damage possible that does blunt. That's a 3-8. That's a 5-18. I think that's what we want. Some 2-8s. 5-15. Ooh, we got good options here. Five, 7, 3, 4. That's a good one. I do always forget about this filter, you're right. There we go. I'll take the 5-18 for sure. And this one could be interesting since it lowers the cost every time you use it. Potentially, if you can pull it multiple times and have enough light to use it, that can spiral pretty well. So what if we just do that and then have like a bunch of like light restoration cards? Yeah, guns bow, you can all see them per rank. Yeah, makes sense. So it's helpful to see the whole list. That's just a 4-12, that's pretty good. Probably need a multi-hit though. Yeah, there's only so many light restoration abilities though. I think I just kind of know most of them off the top of my head. I don't have any defensive cards. This is very glass cannon. Yeah, it makes sense to pick up that one. I'm gonna need more light than this. And if I just script, I wonder if you can blow their hands with fabric. Yeah, I imagine that probably doesn't work. Our scripted always use the same cards. Although knowing them, maybe maybe it does mess things up. If they're scripted to draw cards, I'd have to look at the code. I think it's more likely they're probably just hard-coded to always use a certain card every turn regardless and don't even track hands properly. Unlike regular enemies. I think if I'm gonna have this many high point cards, I need to have more 0-pointers. Yeah. Alright, let's try that. I don't know if it'll work, but it'd be funny. And we all have speed dice, we all have Meow's page, so we all benefit from this. So you honestly probably want the same deck in all cases, basically. You save current stuff, you can just load it on everyone. That's right. I have not used that feature, but that makes sense. Alright, this feels a little silly, but let's find out how it goes. Okay. Oh hey, so this is a solo boss fight. The Queen of Hatred. Speed 2, speed dice slot plus 2. When the Hysteria gauge is filled, transform. The Hysteria gauge rises upon losing clashes or being attacked by marked characters and decreases upon winning clashes or attacking marked characters. Screen pings from left to right as the gauge fills. At the end of the scene, restore all light and draw 2 pages. Remember, I said there's an opportunity to skip until much later? Oh boy. Good to know. Okay, so... So I want her to attack the marked character, and I want to lose clashes while still dealing damage to her as much as possible. Okay, that sounds awful. Yeah, okay. I wonder if we can just brute force this. Probably not. Brute forces, but maybe not your current level. Makes sense. Yeah, okay. Very cool, very cool. Oh, yeah, she's at half HP. Now we no longer have the powerful buff. Ouch. Yeah, it did a ton of damage. Down to 100, and here we go. Yep, and now up to 300. Yep, okay. There's a page that leaves a mark on the target every 2 scenes. All resistance of the marked character changed to weak. Character permanently targeted by the abnormality. There's a mass attack page that targets all librarians every 4 scenes, so the abnormality uses the page while transformed to become staggered on the following scene. Oh boy. Mark the target. Deal a ton of damage to them. And recovers HP, oh boy. Exciting. Yep. Didn't die there. But very close. Mass attacks! On the comment page, it indicates it is a mass attack. When you select a target with the mass attack page, you'll automatically target a random speed die for every other enemy. This attack pages will always be played before melee and ranged pages regardless of speed. These rolls of the mass attack page are compared with the rolls of combat pages on the targeted speed dice, and the target that rolls lower, the mass attack will take damage and have their dice be destroyed. This attack's confused you the whole game. There does seem to be a lot of mechanics going on here. Types of mass attack pages exist: individual and summation. Individual mass attacks are compared against the roll of each individual die on the target speed dice combat page in sequence. Summation mass attacks compared against the sum of dice rolls on the target speed dice combat page. That does seem potentially unnecessarily complex. I don't know. That was unfortunate. So I feel like these didn't lower in cost. Is there something I missed? Or is it only when that individual card comes back up, not just the ones with the same name? That might be it. Which guess I had to wait for the entire deck to reshuffle. Whew. Yep, bye Tifrith. Yeah, that makes sense. That's unfortunate though. Also can't redirect mass attacks, that makes sense. I don't know why you would be able to. Yeah, this is looking not very promising. Yeah, like you said. Okay, so it does eventually decrease in cost. Okay, if you only have... See why I skipped the fight, yeah. If you only have one card in your hand, and you play all your cards, will you just draw that card immediately again next turn? Yeah. You see why I skipped this fight? Yep. Yep, that makes sense. Oh boy. Okay, well, let's not do that again. Alright, generic invitation. Where's workshop? Is that Steam Workshop? Probably. Lots of stuff, yeah. Makes sense. So which books did I need to do for this one? There's a lot of fan-made fights. Yeah, I figured. Does look like a fun game to mod. Very much structured for one. 3 Urban Plague. So that'd be any of the ones from this tier. Any 3 at the top should be good. Okay, that makes sense. Hanafuda, Zhang's office. Okay. Let's try... I want to change this loadout here then. Because theoretically, if I drop the 2-pointers... and just do like this... theoretically, these should rotate pretty quick, right? Or do I have to fill out the full deck? No? It lets me have blanks. I'm curious if that works. We'll try it. It's a 4-person fight. Div doesn't have the numbers. That's true. I didn't catch that there were 4 librarians available. Okay. Then we need to gear up another team. So I'll try. You'll just have a hard time, yeah. I think I might just remove everyone's pages so I don't lose track of who's geared up and who isn't, especially now that we have access to more passives. Okay. So 4-person means any of these bottom 4. So your gimmick is slash. And we can see their resistances. They mostly normal, a little bit of weak to piercing, but the boss is weak to blunt. It's a shame we don't have 4 people to do that then. For the blunt team. Yeah, so slashing isn't necessarily better. Could go with a burn team, maybe. Or pierce. No, we got a mix here. You can still just look if you want to use them anyway, that's true. Be good to steal those pages. Sorry, I saw the Hail Mary movie last night. It was really good. You guys could see it. I want to. I haven't had a free evening, but I really want to go see it. It sounds like exactly the kind of film that I would enjoy. But yeah, I've heard it's really good. I just have not had time. Probably could have gone last night, but I wasn't sure if I was going to stream last night or not. So Sugi talked about, I think Sugi has talked about it, yeah. Yeah, good sci-fi movie. The same author as The Martian, if I remember correctly. How messy is your team? Pretty messy. Well, let's just do let's do Hod's team, but we'll swap the key pages. I'm filtering by tier, that's why. Yeah. That makes sense. Project Moon UI confuses me sometimes. That's all I can say. Okay, so we're all in on Blunt. And mostly just to kill the boss quickly. And that leaves our last person pretty much no blunt options, so let's come up with some other gimmick for them that assists here. Maybe like a buffer type build. You have any spare Aegis Scios page? You can go all in on slashing. could do a ranged build. I don't think we have the cards for that yet. And we don't have very many cards of speed dice, so I think that kind of limits our options here. Slashing it is. Is this one that we've already geared up? It looks like it. Key card later that permits reuse of ranged cards as you suck without it. Makes sense. Alright. Sure, we'll try that. We're gonna lose cards permanently anyway. It's nice to see we have the dice numbers. Okay. So let's start by countering the major threats. Here's good for burst, but they don't handle anything long. Makes sense. And those fights are gonna take a few rounds, so not the best plan. Did I forget to give you your deck, or did it fill your deck with default cards? Is that what happened? That's probably what happened. So you can't go in without a full deck. I understand now. That's fair. Oh, we'll just have to work around that. Let's see, we can redirect that. Didn't know because you never tried. No, fair enough. Now we know. Yeah, I guess just try to evade, probably. Okay, that is the boss over there, yep. Bum ba dum, ba da dum, bum 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 bum. Something like that. Nice. There's nothing there. Below half already. Not bad. And no one's attacking Hod. Excellent. Okay. We are definitely light starved, but that's to be expected. You can do the fancy one. Up. Still standing. Almost got her. There we go. That'll do it. Yeah, and they all offer the same book, so it shouldn't matter at this point. And we're still fairly healthy, relatively speaking. Not half staggered. Let's burst them next. So few options. Okay. You got 2 people targeting you here. We can redirect one of them. You have no light left, which makes sense. Let's try to dodge that one. You do this fight after maybe 2 urban lake fights, so it can't be that hard either. Yeah, no, it makes sense. And I would say Project Moon and linear difficulty progression are not things I would usually mention in the same sentence. There we go. Didn't kill her, but staggered. We don't block, we don't do that. Inflict status effects, that sounds good. Okay. So we need to do some damage here to take them out. Then we counter them when we do our free attacks on them. That should definitely do it, I think. And start setting up our next target. There we go. Slash damage does more damage. Okay. Works for me. Okay, they're pretty close to dying to the burn already. So that should do that. Like the general invitations. Yeah, it's cool. Excuse me. Nice. Okay, yeah, that'll definitely do it. Two down. 3 down. 1 to go. 2 henchmen down. Alright, I think we win this one. Quite possibly. Let's win an Urban Nightmare that'll throw at you later as one of the best cards in the game. Alright. Looking forward to it. It only took 1 hit. We had so many coming. Alright. The best cards is you actually want it to lose Clash so it never fails because that's how Project Moon works. Makes sense. Sounds about right. Alright. 2% chance to boost slash damage slash dice power by 1. So that'll basically never come up, but if it did, that would actually be useful. And that is a fancy key page. See how am I in time? I got another hour. More or less. Okay. Character discards a page, draw 1 page at the start of the next scene. Okay. Character discards a page. The character discards a page, restore 1 light at the end of the scene. Okay. Yeah, so that's the basis of the discard. In Zhong and Molar, you can probably do a somewhat decent discard deck. Yeah, makes sense. Discard a gain 1 haste. Discard a page at the lowest cost, draw 1 page. Draw a page upon discarding this page. Yeah, okay. I see how this works. Very cool. If 4+ pages are in hand, discard 4 random pages and boost the min value of offensive dice on this page by 3. That becomes a 5/6 and a 5/5. Interesting. Four different pages, yeah. Okay. And now we got the next tier of fights. I'm very concerned already. Alright, what do we got to work with here? Probably would need to gear up another team. I don't know, we don't have very many key pages yet. Let's see if those are continuing from the same plot threads. This is the books that it needs. That makes sense. Do you remember which one's easiest? Probably not. As we can try them in order. Sweepers. Sweepers creepers. 578, 2179, 8213, 12915762348. Sweeper stop sweeping. Yeah. Sweeper no sweeping. I don't know how that works. This is how they canonically talk, don't worry about it. Alright, cool. I do not know how to translate the numbers. I knew it. It's pretty much impossible to understand the language of sweepers without an interpreter to translate them for you. Wait, I can probably translate their speech as long as it has the form of a language. Oh, seriously? Makes sense out of those few sentences and decode a whole language from them? I'm that capable. Oh, that's convenient. Yeah, I don't think there's enough information in there to translate the language, but okay. It's becoming clear that the night is no longer ours alone. I know that we have fewer and fewer places to properly dine at with our families. Here, the families who dined at the Nest of Elcorp are recently having a hard time seeing what is in front of them, because of the mist covering the area. It's built different, apparently. You can synthesize information out of thin air. And some families even get lost in the fog and fail to leave. Oh, the supers have normal names. Yeah. Lila, Anton, Valerie, whatever. Why are we not letting Mother know? Yeah, Valerie, okay. I just remember. Mother knows she'll wage an all-out war against the Index. We are not certain enough to risk losing our families in battle. It is true that the Index truly has betrayed us, and if Mother is too late to realize their treachery, many of our families will starve. They will slowly die out. Less food means Mother will have difficulty fostering new family members. We all have our own homes, our own families, and our own children. I'm not advocating neglect. I'm simply saying that we need to practice caution. You know, it has only been a week since those despicable filth known as the Carnival raided the dens of our brothers and ate our families. 9 days ago, La Herde de Loup invaded my younger sibling's den and brutally killed 2 families. 3 days ago, approximately the Index laid waste on our neighbors. The P is silent. Oh, my bad. That makes sense. Diddle-doo. I don't understand French phonetics very well, as you probably noticed. The puppeteer took my children. And yes, I know those incidents all happened at night. I know that our presence is not as powerful as before. I know that we have lost our dominance over the nighttime of this nest. Mother should be aware as well. We know that we need more space to use as our den. Then why? We only lose more of our dens if we get involved in bigger conflicts. If we were to engage in a full-fledged battle against the Index, we'll have even less time in our hands. We must make it through, on our own. What will we possibly do? Is the library. You must go to the library. I know the library has the books of those who worked for the Thumb and the Index. Have you received its invitation? I have. With this, we can confirm that the Index truly has turned its back on Mother and our families. Moreover, this will help us relieve the hardships of our families dining in Estel. If we are not too late by then, that is. I understand what you mean, Uncle. Let's call our neighbors. Let's head to the library together. Let's tell our children to lock the doors and not let strangers in before we leave. Let's as parents protect our mother, our neighbors, our family, and our children with our own hands. It's like, if you didn't know context, you'd think this is a perfectly reasonable conversation. Unfortunately. Sweepers are, yeah. Still know basically nothing about them. That's fun. So, Ruina hasn't, Limbus Company hasn't delved into them more. Oh, are we really getting sweepers as a guest here? They have the capacity to collectively go somewhere with a clear purpose at a time that isn't night, and talk so fluently. That's funny. I expected them to be a little coarser. I once got an interpreter to try to talk to them before. I thought they could only speak in jumbled words back then. But boy oh boy, look at them using complete sentences. They're so talkative with each other too. Bought them in Limbus, but it's just because the group was trapped outside when the wave started. Fair enough. That means the interpreter I paid an arm and a leg for was a total scam and a ripoff. And the sweepers all composed of family members? Probably just a symbolic term they chose to forge bonds between each other. I doubt they're actually families by blood. It's metaphorical, like the titles most other syndicates use. I heard they kidnap children from the outskirts and the back streets. I don't really suggest looking too deep into the sweepers. They're all over the back streets and the outskirts. And I don't think they have much to do with the freedom you're looking for, anyway. Dear neighbors, this is the library. This is the place the scum of the back streets have been rattling on about. New sweeper announcers next interval, so maybe that'll let us know more. That'd be fun. They do seem pretty interesting. We did not expect to come to the library ourselves. Greetings, dear guests. Greetings. Are you our family? There's no way I am, now is there? However, you speak in the language of our family. You can speak with other members of our family. I try to talk to the guests on their level these days, as you can see. I am impressed. This is surprising. Behold, neighbors, the library is not like any other place. I know. This is the first time we are having a real conversation with someone who is not our family. Family, family, family. Could you stop with that horrid rubbish? Family is important. It is not horrid. We apologize. We're simply here to take the books we desire. In regards to the mist covering this nest, do you know anything about it? You'll find out when you read the books, no? That is true. All we want is to acquire the books we want to find. You'll be satisfied. Fine. May you find your book in this place. I do like the implication that no one has ever heard of anyone surviving the library and actually coming out of it with the books they were looking for. And yet all these people are still like, oh yeah, we got a chance. We can go to the library and get those books. No problem. Okay. Acts 1 of 3. Oh boy. So I feel like running away like 700 times? Yeah. No one else runs away and successfully does anything about it. That's not true. That also happened that other time, I think, right? But the reason the sweepers coming out is called a wave. Yep, fair enough. They got a lot of health, too. 73 is pretty high. So the bad habit of refusing to die. When another character dies, recover 20% max HP at the end of that scene. So when one dies, the other ones all heal. Oh boy. Recover 3 HP, recover 2 HP. All dice the user plays lose 2 power for this scene. Interesting. Gain persistence for 4 scenes. So, high but not ridiculous damage. But they can spam it. And they're very defensive. Oh boy. Notice they have an ability where you can win the clash and they kill you anyway if you're unlucky. Sounds about right. Okay, let's try this. I forgot to check their damage resistances. They're weak to piercing. Okay, I should have checked. That would have made a difference. At least they don't resist blunt. Do they handle trash disposal in this one? I didn't see a trash disposal passive, at least. I have to double check their decks again if they have a card for that. Oh, there it is. All offensive dice on this page gain on hit recover 2 HP. On hit, if the natural die rolls a 3, recycle this die up to 6 times. So does that mean that last hit, it's a 50-50 whether it continues to roll? Okay, I see. Exploding dice, very fun. Yeah, that, if you get very unlucky, that that can be really bad. Okay. So we got a defensive die, and then a powerful offensive die. So you can play at that game. And I think... this is only reused up to 3, and a skill you're saying can kill you. Makes sense. I kind of need to focus them one at a time is the problem. I got so much health too. And I bet persistence prevents them from dropping too. That would make sense. Oh, that was the wrong card. That's fine. We'll just die. Oh, I forgot to update their deck. They still have... Odd still has the, the basic deck. Whoops. That's unfortunate. The next fight in this line gives start to your favorite archetype in the game. Oh boy. Sounds like fun. Well, yep. I saw that. And the multi-hit there at the end. Okay, we staggered one of them. We're almost dead. There we go. Okay, we got one. And, we've already taken a little bit of damage. And where's this persistent? There we go. Upon taking lethal damage, 80% chance to revive with some HP. Yeah, okay. Sounds about right. There's not resistant, but they have more than enough strength and numbers. Yep. Well, Singleton only activates so you have 9 unique cards in your deck. Sounds like fun. Okay, let's target someone who has not activated that yet. Like you. You're just trying to heal. Which we can burst through anyway. Yeah, Hod's just gonna die here, it's fine. Like a bunch of burn, that sounds great. I like that plan. Okay, good hit. Not a good hit. I got very lucky there. And staggered. Yep. Whew. I just keep stabbing. Okay. 2 down. We don't have a lot of block dice, same as before. And they probably plays in the Sleeper's Confusion by entering the library. They're not allowed into places registered as habitations in the city. Makes sense. The library is, not strictly speaking, a habitation. Okay, and everyone's got persistent. So now it no longer matters. And you've got Fragile 3, so I think that makes you the target here. Bum 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 bum. Yep. Ouch. Good block. And staggered. Yeah, the core of the city, they can come out every night between 3:14 a.m. and 4:34 a.m. See if anyone outside during that time and then leave. They also can and will avoid fights they can't win. Makes sense. That's kind of fun. Da-dum. 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 Bum 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 bum. All right. It's this die that's being attacked. Okay. The fight in Limbus because it doesn't end with the usual victory, but with a survived instead. Nice. Okay, got back up a few times, but we got him eventually. Slash dice gain 1-3 power. Yes, please. Okay. I don't like that there's still 2 standing and we've already taken a fair bit of damage and there's 3 waves of this. Just, not great. Yeah, sure. Get them staggered almost. There we go. Ooh, big hit. And they heal again. Why won't you die? So that's their whole gimmick, that's why. I've got bleeding 6. Okay. Just dodge it all. Totally. Season that when it falls, yeah. That's the idea. There we go. Last one. And it's staggered. Perfect. Even with all this damage? Okay, it didn't. Only popped up once. Or didn't pop up at all. That's good. So that's Act 1. Yep, sure enough, the exact same thing again. Alright. I forgot to change the loadout again. Gosh darn it. Okay. I'll remember next round, probably. Okay. Yep. I guess we'll target one of the people that are feeble. He's about to cast Persistence. If we can kill him before then, that is great for us, but also... Yeah, no, that's what we want to do, I think. Go all out. Yeah, try to evade that, sure. Restore light. Yep. Yeah, thankfully the attacks are spread out enough, especially once we start taking out their numbers. Yeah, sounds about right. There we go, staggered. Alright, burst through it. One down. Hit against staggered enemy, all allies recover 2 to 4 HP. That sounds useful. Because we're gonna need that here in a bit. Okay, who doesn't have Persistent yet? You two don't. Either of you weakened? No. With full health? Okay. And you're both casting at this turn, makes sense. Either way, we try to burst. There we go. We can just win this round, this act, and we should be able to bring on another fresh team to do the last one, no problem. So I'm okay with sacrificing some people in order to get the enemies off the board faster. Okay, they're staggered, and you heal the team for hitting staggered people, so do that. When the sewers are weak to pierce because imply they're made of goo inside their suit. Makes sense. Just keep focus firing. There we go. Nice. 2 max damage hits in a row. Almost staggered. There we go. Dead. Excellent. Just 2 more. Now we're running out of cards. Check the one that's fragile. Yep. All the status effects, look at that. You have so many icons under their health bar. There we go, now we've actually drawn some cards. That probably does it right. Pretty close. There we go. Last one. I should break stagger. I can do 2 3-cost cards in one turn. It's kind of terrifying. The same character. There we go. Should also break their face, so. Okay. Now we got Anton and Lila and Valerie. So the difference is they have Mind Hauler, recover 2 stagger resist on a Cecil attack, recover 2 HP on a Cecil attack, recover 2 stagger resist on a Cecil attack. Interesting. Okay. So I got 2 floors, so we'll throw Hod at it, and then if Hod gets wiped, we'll switch to, I guess, Zach's team. Yeah. Alright. Change the deck if I can. I cannot change decks, okay. Fair enough. I thought I remembered that you could click on it, but I guess that was only during the prep phase. Before we actually did the invitation. Yep. Okay. Who do we need to burst first? Is anyone weak to blunt here? I assume not. I assume it's still the same stagger vulnerability on everyone. Yep. Okay. So Lila's got the most health. So I think we save Lila for later. Especially since she constantly heals. What I don't know is how much more powerful their decks are. I probably should have checked that. Let's do... Let's do Valerie first. I think. She has the lowest stagger resist of the named sweepers. And she is not persisting right away. Create. I'll just reduce that and then first. Resist that. first. I guess we got 3 cards we can spend at least. Very silly. Power for each page in hand. We got quite a few pages here. There we go. Let's see how that goes. Almost staggered. Staggered. Excellent. That was a big hit. That was a full 18. Alright. 1 down. That was unfortunately a generic page. But you know what? We'll deal with that later. Stagger, I hardly know her. True. Enemies lose 1 power and clashes against the librarian, sure. Okay. So I think next Anton is about to do persistence. Everyone's persistent, okay. Do you even have a custom book? That's true, I didn't check. I don't know if Valerie does. Lila and Anton do. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I probably missed out on that. But that's fine. I can come back later with a even more powerful team. You know, forget defense, we are just all in on offense here. Sometimes get bonus books at the end, maybe we'll still get one. That's true. I suppose that's possible. We'll find out. Yeah, we still got plenty of stagger. And each enemy we take off the board means that many fewer attacks to worry about. And the way they heal makes it really not efficient to target multiple. There we go. Book of Anton obtained, alright. So now I think it doesn't matter as much who we target. I think we target the person who's fragile. I'm gonna lose 0 cost cards. Draw a page. Draw a page. 1 stagger left. It's fine. Everything's fine. Still get our hits in. Alright, staggered. And even if we get staggered, if there's only a few enemies left, there's only so much they can take advantage of in that stagger window. Okay. Yeah, let's start counterattacking there. And that should now start doing that. Worst case, still have a whole nother floor, exactly. Nice defense. Nice. Still got stagger, but we blocked some of the hits. Less likely to die from that. Unfortunately, they survived. Oh, so close. Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll tackle that person instead then. Oops, about to die. Not yet, still alive. Oof. Come on. Alright, they're staggered. Dodge that. Not that that's really gonna do much. We are card starved. Oh. Dang it. We're down one. And they're starting to get multiple dice. Yeah, that healing is so rough. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, but I started playing more defensively when I should have just kept damage balling. Now everyone's staggered. So close. Sit on heal between acts, yeah, that's true. Everyone's staggered, so there's a free turn for the enemies. Okay, it wasn't a party wipe. Not ideal, though. Okay. All the 0-point cards. That's not helpful. Oof. I'm about to just straight up die from health damage. Never mind stagger. 1 HP. Okay, okay. Nope. Yeah, so that officially just became unwinnable, probably. We still have, like, no cards to work with. Most, but a 2b4 next time at least, yeah. We can try to stagger here, I think that's all we got to work with. Okay. Despite not having a deck, how to somehow one of the last to die, yep. Well, they are all the same queue page, so they're all taking the same damage resistances and everything. List of the main three. I get free damage. So close. Look at that. Max team emotion levels. Okay. 2 damage. And not staggered. Okay. Last chance to hit. And staggered and dead. Okay. Okay. I mean, this is still probably winnable. This is not the most geared up team. It is the only geared up team. Oof, okay. Yeah. That's a big hit. You know what? Sure. Nice. Nice. Won most of those. So you have 2 stacks of persistent? 3? How does that work? Sure, why not? Yeah, huh. Alright, come on. So close to doing staggered. Ouch. That was a lot of hits. There we go. Get them low. And with dog pile. This is a pure stack. Trash disposal is very mean. It's just someone who's not right about to die, maybe. Okay. So you have a free attack. Tailoring, sure. Why not? And then you can start countering here. Yep, survive, of course. On. Nice. Okay, Book of Lila. Alright, just a regular sweeper. We can do this. Raw, sure. Not staggered. Staggered! Just in time for a big multi-hit. So surprised that Brawl has light regeneration on it. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Sure. Okay. Go all out. which is not much since we're running out of cards, but that's fine. Let's do Brawl, actually. There we go. Okay. We won! Almost made it with a single team, even. Nice. Now we're missing Valerie's page. Yep. Rest in peace. Got Anton and Lilam. No Valerie. What was that? Exhausting. Super sharp, persistent. He's on the basic sweepers too? Could be. Guess we'll find out. And a deal could have made them so desperate, I wonder. Most I can tell is that the sweepers are losing their ground, so they tried to make a deal to do something about it. Can we get to know more? No idea. Maybe the invitation will show us the answer eventually. Seem to be really fixed on the sweepers, by the way. What's up with that? Something about them smelled suspicious. They do have an awful smell, I'll give you that. Take a sniff of those filthy bandages and your appetites. Are you insane? Sheesh, can't even crack a joke. Well, anyway, this is the first time our Miss Library Director let her intuition speak so much. I guess it won't hurt to keep an eye on this case. Alright, well, let's burn those books. Alright. Yeah, no key pages. Or not, no speed dice pages, looks like. Makes sense. And we got all 4 Sweeper plus. Okay, and now we have trash disposal. And the one that gives persistence. That'd be nice. Alright, I think we're gonna call it there. I don't have time for another fight, probably. That gives me a few more minutes to prepare for the event. That wasn't too bad. I didn't completely, like, space out and lose my ability to play games on stream. That would have been very embarrassing and medically concerning. But that nearly happened a few streams ago, so glad that didn't happen this time. Plan to stream tomorrow. I should be able to stream closer to now, so like an hour ago, but tomorrow. So 23 hours from now, something like that. Instead of having to do it a little bit earlier. So I guess that isn't really that much earlier. I don't know. Because I do have evening plans, but they start much later. So I've got more flexibility tomorrow. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to get a nap in before stream this time. I think that'll be the plan. Alright, thanks for being here, Yazoo and Oatmeal Cookie. Anyone else is lurking, appreciate you all. Thanks for stopping by. Is Nono still alive? I don't know. I'll find out. He is, alright then. That simplifies our raid target choice. Alright. Let's kick off a raid. I'll see y'all tomorrow, hopefully, for more Luigi's Mansion. Keep both stream types going. So yeah, have a great rest of your day. Or your morning, in some cases. I don't know how late it is for you yet. I don't do the math. So yeah, see y'all next time. 11 p.m. Okay, so it is still the same day. So have a good rest of your day, all 1 hour of it. have a good tomorrow as well.